My last boyfriend was actually so funny about it. He'd always call me his sugar mama, like, around his family.
My current boyfriend does that. You won't believe how many goats she has.
You won't believe how many goats she has. We could trade them for our future children.
Yeah. What are you eating?
Well, it's officially Pride Month, so I'm homophobic.
Oh my god. What a start. Welcome back to Whine About It, everybody.
Dude, I'm so grumpy today because I've diagnosed myself with a new disease.
Still?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cutie called me about this yesterday. She told me she saw someone pop up on like TikTok or something that had this disease. So then she looked up the disease and now she's starting to feel all the symptoms of the disease that she looked up. And I tried to say, are you able to like logic your way into being like, well, this is a coincidence. Like I'm feeling these things because I just read them and I have hypochondria. And she said no.
No, because what if this is the one time?
Right.
This is the one time it's for real.
Course. Yeah.
So I've decided I have MND. It's a motor neuron disorder. It's like ALS, which is why I feel so weak. And if you watched Master Baker this week, I was like trying to lift up a pan and my wrist like was just not working. Stressful.
I don't think you have that. I think you're just tired. I think you're fine.
Well, what'd you do this week?
Oh my god, I don't remember.
God, it's like you have a podcast or something.
What did you do this week? Oh, okay, yours is
Master
easy.
Baker.
Yeah, that's so easy. What the hell? I had different every day. I don't know. I just worked last week. Nothing crazy happened.
I have to text aloud. The cat has let themselves in and now the cat wants out and I'm wearing a short skirt dress thing and I don't want to stand up and show my butt and Lud is too good to me for doing what he's about to do. Will you come get Coots?
You could have just
please
voice to texted that one.
Yeah, I know.
So how was Master Baker? The dream,
Master Baker. It was good. I'm just so tired and I don't know if it's my new disease I have or if I'm old or if it's just I work myself too hard. I think you just did
Master Baker this whole week, I think is the problem. I think that's why you're tired. Also, you went from a 2-month break essentially from streaming to a full week of Master Baker. Like,
yeah, I might have jumped in too much, to be honest.
That's what I was worried about it, man. When you tweeted that thing, I was like, wait, what?
She did say that.
Yeah,
and we did have a long conversation about it, and I said, I'll be fine.
Yeah, you were like, oh no, they're easy.
They are easy,
it's
but
not a
I
lot.
guess, I don't know. I don't know why my brain's this way.
Escapism.
But I forgot to eat today, so I'm trying to shove this down my gullet so I have some energy for this podcast.
Classic cutie Cinderella, forgetting to eat. You know, actually what I did in the past couple days is I started watching The Walking Dead TV show. Oh yeah, no, I told you that. Bad news. Remember how last night we were on the phone and you were like, why are you watching that by yourself? It's scary. And I was like, it's not scary. I had a nightmare. I wasn't scared, but I had a nightmare about it.
What happened?
I got in a fight with this girl on a soccer field and she pulled a knife, but then she was a zombie all of a sudden. Like she was normal and then she wasn't. And then
that happens.
I was in a fight with a zombie that had a knife and I had no weapons, which is like super not ideal. And then I had to run. Yeah. And I think you're at really bad quality sleep.
It's the best. Really?
Yeah.
I've been sleeping pretty good actually, which is surprising. I had an insomnia relapse last week for like 2 days.
Yep.
Which stressed me out and made me text my therapist again to see if I'm manic. She said no.
Huge. That's huge.
She was like, she literally said to me, let me find it. She was like, insomnia is a symptom of depression. I don't know how many times this woman has to remind me that I'm just depressed.
I have my last appointment with my therapist this week.
That's so sad.
It's so weird because I was trying to write stuff down today because it's like our closure session, you know? We're gonna just be like, imagine having to ask your therapist, like, of 7 years, what advice do you have for me going forward? You know, or like, can you give me anything? Just like any last thing that you want me to think about or remember or whatever. And so I'm like trying to write stuff down. I bulleted like 3 things and they're all bad.
You can't like be friends, right?
Not for 2 years after she's my therapist. It's to protect therapists because there are clients that will like abuse that relationship.
Parasocial, right?
Yeah, parasocial ones that'll like without, you know, like it's not their client. Wait, has she
kind of like hinted that she like wants to be your friend though? In 2 years? I
don't remember how it was said. I think she said...
But we'll see her on the podcast in 2 years.
Yeah, she'll be on the podcast. It'll be sick. We'll talk about everything that we've talked about in our sessions.
Like, could you fix her?
No, I don't think I want to be friends with that. That'd be weird. That'd be really weird. I don't want that. I don't want to like go to lunch with her or something. It's weird. I'm just trying to figure out what to say to her in this last session because I mean it. I've done like over 500 hours with this woman, you know? Like, what do you say to end it? Thank you. You know, like, what, do you have any last words? Like, I don't know. So I need
What's crazy, the best therapist I ever had that I broke up with, our breakup was because my mom died. So it's like, I don't have good advice. Well, so my mom died on a Monday. And I had therapy that afternoon. And she was calling me because I wasn't showing up. She didn't know, obviously. And I answer. And I'm sobbing. And she's like, hey, seeing if you're coming to your session. And I'm like, my mom died. I'm never coming again. I don't want to talk about it. And that was the last time we talked. Isn't that crazy?
That's so bad. Dude, your poor therapist was probably like, fuck.
Yeah.
That's
but
tragic.
I didn't want to talk about it. But she was so good that I'm like sad to this day.
I mean, you could hit her up. Be like, hey, I'm ready to talk about
like laws now where you can't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I don't know. I need to figure out what to say. I'm gonna cry a lot. Probably it's gonna be really sad and weird and very weird because it really is. Like after we hang up that call, after we hang up, like
that's it.
I probably will never talk to her again.
I mean, you could probably send her an email every few months. It's just like, hey.
I could. I'm not going to. Seems kind of pointless. I also don't want to, like, bother the lady, you know? So, I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Did I ever talk about on the podcast how, like, my therapist was, like, point blank in a session? Because I forget why. I brought up your situation. And she was like, well, would you be sad if you left me or whatever? And I was like, no. And it made me feel so bad.
That's funny.
And she was like, do you think I care about you? And I was like, no.
No, right. I mean, when I started with this therapist, I didn't think so either. But now it's just been so long, it does feel that way. Dude, someone left a comment. Sorry, I'm pulling a tag off this dress. Someone left a comment on our YouTube video that said something about, like, this podcast has been so good for normalizing therapy. And I don't even think we're doing that intentionally. I had a moment in therapy, right? Because it's virtual. Like, I was in therapy, and one of my employees, like, walked up to my house to take care of the monkeys. This is when the monkeys were still living in my house. And I, like, opened the door, and I was like, I'm in therapy. Like, come back. And then my therapist was like, it's amazing that you're so willing to just say that casually. Like, most people are really weird about talking about therapy. And I think it's probably because of the way that we talk about therapy that it just feels so like, yeah, I had therapy today.
Do people think I'm crazy?
I think it's kind of crazy how openly we talk about therapy.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. I think it's a lot. Yeah.
It's been like my norm for like 12 years now. So I just don't.
7 for me, baby.
You either are okay with me being in therapy or you think I'm crazy and you probably don't talk to me. So,
dude, I gotta find a new one. I haven't started looking for a new one. I'm so scared. What if I get a new one and I like explain the whole internet thing and she's like, oh, turn off your monitor, you know? Or she's like, have you tried, why don't you just not worry about them? Why don't you just not read them? You know, or something like that. Like, what if it's just someone who doesn't get it? Or they're like,
I told you.
Maybe
the
you
one
should just...
I had that one time was like, you're too young. Just watch The Bachelor and have a glass of wine. And I was like, I've had 12 panic attacks in the last week. Like, what?
Yeah. Or like, maybe you should just take some time off of social media.
Yeah.
Like go for like a
Set
walk.
limiters on your phone.
Yeah. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting. Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
What
What if it was a man?
I've had 2 male therapists.
Oh, I could never.
Eh.
There's no way.
Dude, I feel like I've just like with therapy specifically, I feel like I've just given up. Like, you know, like I'll just tell you how it is. I'll tell you everything I've been through. You let me know. I will say I'm having the weirdest. I mean, we talked about it last week and it was kind of heavy. So TW alert. TW alert. Is like, I think I'm processing trauma for the first time ever, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was possible. And I don't get it, if that makes sense.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get how it works. But all of a sudden things like the pedophile like is like affecting me and I'm like, wait, it hasn't affected me for 20 years. Why all of a sudden like, hello, what's going on? It's so weird.
Yeah. I talked to my therapist about us talking about it on the podcast. I was like, yeah, she brought this up. I had no idea. And my therapist was like, did you know she was going to bring it up? Like, was there any? And I was like, she didn't know she was going to bring it up. Like, she doesn't know what's going on right now. No. I don't think it's a problem. I was worried about it, though. Like, I texted you that night, and I was like...
Yeah, she did. She was like, do you want to cut that out? Yeah. No, I wasn't worried about it. I think that's the problem is because when you, and I promise, hey, if you're listening to the first 10 minutes of this podcast, you're like, uh-oh, this is going to be a deep podcast. We're going to pivot. It's fine. We're just catching up. Yeah, we're going to pivot. We're going to talk about dicks, balls, and cum per usual.
Ugh. Blech, blech. I didn't like it in that combination.
I call it the McDonald's combo, the McDickles combo. 2 for 1, baby.
Ew.
Bring a friend. My hair is wet because I didn't have time. This is who I am. That's fine. We've accepted it. I feel fine talking about being molested as a child because, lucky enough for me, I do have the therapy right now. And there's a lot of people who don't have the therapy that I guess like hear this and they hear like, oh my gosh, that happened to someone else too. And maybe they think the same way I've thought for 20 years where it's like, it happened in the past. What can you do about it? It didn't affect me. Now I just make jokes about it, which I will continue to make jokes about being a hot child. But I do think there's like, I think it's this thing where it's like, you also feel this level of guilt when you're a 6-year-old kid doing like not, you know, even though, again, as a child did not want any of those things to happen to me whatsoever, you do feel guilty for like, being bad, right? Yeah. Like you feel like you did something bad and you feel guilty. And so it's like, even just me talking about it, I do feel like normalizes it even to maybe 50,000 people that get to hear it. They're like, oh, this is something she's talking about casually. And I think until people talk about it more casually, that guilt will just like sit on people. And so I hope even just like me talking about it has triggered conversations with like in healthy relationships that people hopefully have that watch this, where they're like, hey, I was listening to a podcast and this happened to this girl I'm a fan of, and like,
very famous.
It happened to me, yeah. And they're like, yeah, and she's like really hot too, and like super funny. And then they like talk about how good looking I am. They're like, I wish I could date her. But you know I agree what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
I agree with what you're saying.
I feel fine about it.
We'll fine about it. I will throw a little in there. We don't know what the we're doing. Neither does anybody, in fairness, but some people have a degree to walk you through it. You should get professional help. But
always.
Yeah, but
I mean, we're the biggest advocates of professional help.
Yeah, right.
It's just,
we don't know what we're doing, so don't take all of our advice for like, oh, they said this. We don't know.
No, I'm not trying to give advice at all. I'm just trying to give relatability. That's all. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to give. I think it's just like important to normalize talking about it if you're ready. But it was this weird thing. I feel fine talking about this too. But you know, if you don't like this part, skip 10 minutes ahead. We'll be on something else.
We're gonna pivot.
We're gonna pivot like freaking ballerinas. It was weird. It's interesting because, like I said, this happened to me when I was from like age like probably 5 to 10. It happened for like a few years. And I have always just been like, it's a thing that happened, right? It's a thing that happened, whatever. What can you do about it? It's kind of like my mom dying. Like, it's a thing that happened. And if I were to think, my mom dying is easier for this, where it's like, if I were to think about how that makes me feel, I don't think I would ever stop crying. I don't think there's a day the tears stop. And so instead I just am this, right? And so the weird thing about like what happened to me as a kid is it's like the tears will stop because eventually I feel like I can process it because I can still live a life with that having happened to me. And I never knew that there were tears there to begin with. Honestly, like honest to God, I really didn't. And interestingly enough, like whatever we're doing in therapy right now that's making me even talk about this in general, I don't know which witchcraft she has over me, but it's working, I think. I called my dad this week per usual for normal things, like just calling to check in on my dad. Plus he has me do his invoices and contracts for him still. So, you know, he's called me to work on it and we're talking. And it randomly came to me that I was like, the thing that we talked about on the podcast last week of me writing a letter of some kind to somebody, just whatever. I was like, you know what? I want my dad's advice on this, but I've never told my dad. And in that moment when I said, Dad, I want your advice on something, but like, it's kind of heavy. Like, are you ready for this? Like, I hope this doesn't make you uncomfortable or anything like that. Cause my dad and I, we do not talk like that. When my dad and I talk, it's whatever, you know, do your invoices, do this, how was Disneyland? Like, it's not deep usually, mostly because he's just very religious, but and so I told him for the first time ever what happened to me as a kid, because my parents didn't. I told my mom when I was like 20 that it happened, very casually, and it was like kind of the first time that I realized what it was that happened. But I told my dad for the first time, and as I said, I have something heavy to tell you. I cannot, like, it was like a Ratatouille moment. All of a sudden, I was 6 years old, and I was telling my dad that I broke a lamp or something. Like, it was the weirdest feeling of like being like, oh my God, am I going to be in trouble for this? Am I like, is he going to think less of me? Am I now like unpure because of Mormonism or whatever? It was so crazy, the feeling that it like the disembodiment that it threw me in, I guess, essentially. But it was a very interesting conversation. I will say I'm very lucky. He handled it the best way that any dad in the whole entire world could. But man, it was so crazy. Therapy's weird. I don't know what's going on, because this is something that I haven't talked about in 20 years and been fine with not talking about it. And now it's like all that I can think about. Yeah.
I mean, it all happened when you were a kid, and so processing it, like, you're gonna tap back into feeling like a kid.
It's weird though, huh?
Yeah,
who knew?
That's
I didn't know therapy did that.
Therapy can do a lot of things.
Yeah, I've never had that before. Ooh,
are you doing EMDR right now, or are you talking talk therapy?
EMDR.
Eye movement rapid desensitization.
EMDR. Eye movement. EMDR.
Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. Sorry.
Reprocessing.
Cutie and I both done EMDR. It's a type of therapy that, oh my God, I cannot explain this. I have an ag degree.
Look how burned my hair is.
It does look a little fried. It's also damp. I don't even know how to describe it. It's a type of therapy where there's a couple different methods. There's like, you hold buzzers in your hands and it like goes back and forth. I did like eye movement. And it's supposed to, I don't even know how to explain it.
My buzzers.
It was developed for PTSD in veterans, I think.
It's weird because you can Google brain scans before and after EMDR, and you can like see like difference. I don't know what difference. She's explained it to me like 4 times, and I'm like, okay.
Attention to focus is, and it's supposed. So the reason that I started EMDR is because I didn't remember what happened to me in college with like the rape thing, and I wanted to know what happened. And so it's, some people use the therapy to like remember traumatic events that you've blocked out. And it did help with that, which, you know, it's a whole other conversation whether or not that was what I actually wanted. I want to explain to them. Psychotherapy that enables people to heal from symptoms of emotional distress and disturbing life experiences. When you cut your hand, your body works to close the wound. If a foreign object or repeated injury irritates the wound, it festers and causes pain. Once the block is removed, healing resumes. EMDR demonstrates a similar sequence of events with mental processes. The brain's information processing system naturally moves towards mental health. If the system is blocked or imbalanced by the impact of a disturbing event, the emotional wounds fester and can cause intense suffering. Once the block is removed, healing resumes.
I'll be honest, it sounds like a pseudoscience.
It does.
I don't even know if I necessarily believe it, for the record, but I'm just doing
No,
it.
EMDR fricked my up. I don't know why I censored one word and not the other. My first EMDR session, I got back to campus after my EMDR session. I parked my car in a 45-minute meter to return a textbook, and I left it there for 48 hours. And I had, like, no idea that I had done it until I went to go drive somewhere 2 days later, and my truck wasn't in my parking spot, and I had to go find it.
I do get a bit of like memory loss when I do it, which is sad because I do it every Monday and Thursday.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, but we're trying to heal me. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It was weird because it was like I said, it was the first time my dad had ever heard it. So then I get off the phone with my dad and I'm like, crap, I got to call my sister because it like happened to my sister too. And it's crazy because my sister is someone that's like, you know, she has like 5 kids and she's living her life. And I'm talking to her about it and she's like, yeah, like, you know, it happened. Like, what can we do? And she's where I was literally a year ago, where I'm like, what can you do? Like, I don't feel anything about it. Like, I'm sure it affects me somehow. I just don't know how. Like, that's what I've always said. So it's just fascinating. And it's crazy because like, as I'm talking to her, it was sad because I was the younger sister. And there's this moment where she's like, I know it happened to you more than it happened to me because you were easier to pick off. She was like, because at some point I started resisting and like,
Jesus.
You know, and it's like, oh shit. And so that was kind of like a sad thing. So it's really interesting just like talking through the stuff that I've never talked through before. I don't like it per se, but that's what's happening in my life.
I can't find like a sentence to explain how this works. Essentially, you can have buzzers. I've had a therapist tap on my knees. I've had a therapist like track my eyes like this and I like follow her fingers, whatever. And it's supposed to like use different sides of your brain or something and like stimulate something with memory. I don't know. But it did help me remember things. I don't know that I would have been able to. I mean, I don't know if I would have been able to remember otherwise, but I credit EMDR for a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has helped me remember the feeling. I don't think I've never attached a feeling to like being pulled into his bedroom as a 6-year-old, you know, but now as an adult, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that feeling. Like it's the same terror that I feel when we get swatted. It's the same terror that I feel, you know, this, like, and so it's just, it's weird, man. It's weird. And it's weird. Cause like, for example, like the swatting, which I've talked about before on like Anthony Padilla, if you want to hear the whole story. But it's weird because you look at like the boys, you know, that we live with, and they've all processed it so differently than me. But my therapist's been like, yeah, well, you're going to process it much worse because you haven't felt safe since you were 5 years old. Like you haven't felt safe. And it's like, oh, you know, it's kind of sad, but
that sucks.
What can you do?
But
yeah, weird week. That's your therapy update.
Long therapy update.
Yeah, sorry everybody.
My EMDR, I don't remember exactly how she told the story, but my EMDR therapist had a client once who came in and was like omega depressed. And she was doing EMDR and you kind of just like, it's weird. It's not a fluid conversation with me anyway. It wasn't a fluid conversation. It was like, I would just talk about like what popped into my head. And it was weird shit sometimes. Like it wouldn't make sense. It feels kind of like a fever dream.
Yeah.
And she was saying that her client kept talking about, she kept bringing up this is so crazy. She kept bringing up the color pink and the taste of cigarettes. She's like an avid smoker. And she was just like, cigarettes, whatever. And then they got to a point where she, at the end of the session, realized that her dependency on cigarettes, she like has not been able to quit smoking even though she wants to forever. Her mom smoked while she was in the womb, and she's been like detached from her mother for a very long time. And so she has this like connection to her mother through cigarettes, like that she's just like emotionally dependent on them, but she didn't know that that was the reason. It's just something where with talk therapy, it would take so long to figure that out, you know? Like so many hours. And EMDR is just bizarre.
Dude, it's weird. It's definitely weird because this therapist has me just wear the wristbands during what feel like normal sessions. But then my old therapist, the guy from like a few months ago, or maybe it was like a year at this point, he would have me do the eye EMDR, and he would have me like flip through my brain like a channel. And so I don't know. It's different. I don't really know. I always
didn't
feel like I'm
having
not doing
my
it
eyes
right.
open. It threw me off.
Yeah, that's fair. It is harder because you can't like envision.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, he would do one where he would have me listen to clicks too, or tap.
Yeah. Very weird.
I don't know.
Very cool. It's cool though. If you have some trauma or some PTSD stuff, EMDR is an option. It's worth a shot. It's not covered by all insurance.
I don't know if it's
so
working.
you have to find a therapist that's in your network if there is one. Hopefully there is one, but you could
I got my natural antidepressants delivered that the psychiatrist recommended. I haven't taken them yet, but gotten them delivered. Baby step.
What is it?
Rhodelia is what it's called.
Sounds like a pretty flower.
Yeah, it's like an Icelandic root or something. I don't know.
We gotta drink our wine and we gotta pivot.
Yeah, we do. My stomach hurts though.
Tragic. Too bad we have a wine podcast.
I ate so many chicken nuggets because I didn't eat enough protein today. So I was trying to shove it in my throat. Ew. All right. We've got Kaleidoscope wine.
I like this one. It's pretty. It's 2020.
It is actually a really pretty bottle.
We love kaleidoscopes for the way they turn light and color into the most vivid, unique works of art, bringing together distinct elements into a beautiful design. This wine expresses exquisite depth and balance, offering great complexity and intriguing flavors of Bing, cherry, and blackberry with notes of chocolate.
Dude, is there anyone in the world that's like shopping for wine and they read the back and they read something like that and they're like, oh, that's the one?
My boyfriend does that.
Really?
Yeah, he's like into wine.
I don't want to call him names, but I thought about it.
Oh. Thank you.
Weirdo.
He likes wine. He likes watching like wine YouTube videos of, what are they called? Sommeliers or something?
What the heck? So he would like us if we were better?
He would like us if we were better at wine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he'd like our podcast like actually if all we did was talk about wine?
Maybe.
Damn. Feels bad.
Yeah, but he doesn't like us because that's not what we do.
Damn. Feels bad.
I did something bad.
What?
I don't think I put it in far enough.
I just don't fully get this thing.
You really need like one like mine.
Well, I had the other one, the automatic one, but it's outside.
Oh my god, please.
I don't go out there anymore. See, now I went too low.
Oh my god, you bitch. I'm pissed off right now. I'm really pissed off.
What? How did this happen? Okay, push.
Saved. That was cringe. I hated it.
I just really don't understand.
Yeah. No, wait. Put the metal part. Yeah.
It doesn't stay.
No, but then move the red part down with the metal part on the... No. Yeah, and then... Yeah.
But it's moving.
Oh. Put it further in.
I don't get it. This is the dumbest. Oh.
No.
Wait. Yeah, look.
Our producer's walking. They can hear your voice. It would make more sense. So we just both freeze.
Whoa, look at that. This is the dumbest
Wow.
wine bottles in the whole wide world, huh?
She's not got it. That cork. The cork is longer than normal corks, I feel. Wow,
That
she's
is a
done
long ass cork because they want to fit
Yeah.
kaleidoscope on it.
Lame. It does not smell like
My
chocolate
tummy
or...
hurts.
Oh. Probably shouldn't drink wine.
I'm doing it.
I have an idea.
What? We're gonna have to take a break from wine when I start those meds because I'll get paranoid. Ow. That was so satisfying. It's actually insane.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
Reverb wine pours.
I want to do it.
Chat, you want to hear something cool? Not chat. Sorry. Ow. Hooray!
I made mine as wet as possible. Did
We
it
both have
sound crazy?
reverb. Yeah, it was cool.
That's wicked.
Production's
We
crazy.
should do that
in here.
every week.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, my tummy hurts.
Oh yeah,
Smells like
wine.
red wine.
Yeah, it does.
Smells
I
like
like
rubbing
the idea
alcohol.
of it tasting like blackberries and chocolate. That sounds really nice.
I keep eating blueberries as snacks.
Okay.
And I like that for me.
I want to like it. I don't hate it. It's not very sour.
It tastes better than the way it smells. It smells like rubbing alcohol.
Oh, I don't think it smells that bad.
Really?
I like it.
It's fine. I'll give it a fine out of 10. It's
Fine
actually
about
not
it?
too bad. It's not too bad. I taste It tastes
want
like
it
a wine you would drink at someone's wedding.
I want it to taste. I
Like
want
it's
it
got
to
to be
taste
like a $7 bottle or something.
Yeah, I want it to taste like blackberries and chocolate. That's what I want. And so I'm just gonna.
It doesn't.
I'm just gonna pretend like it does, and then maybe it'll start tasting that way. Like how you're starting to have symptoms for your illness.
Yeah, and wine makes my tummy hurt.
Oh.
It's part of my disease.
Okay, I want to talk about this tweet that you sent. We're pivoting.
Wait, what one?
The one that you put in the ideas channel. There are a lot of young women that follow me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was this tweet. It went viral.
I will put together a short encyclopedia of phrases used by men that are immediate red flags. Run like hell if you hear these. And it's a thread.
Baby. It has 6.5 million views.
Yeah. Shall we go through each of these phrases that men use and discuss
Dude,
whether
how
or not
many?
it is?
Okay.
There's so many.
27 is what she put, but then I'm sure there's a few actual.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no, she put more than that.
The first one is a
Like
really
30.
bad one to start on because
It feels
I
like she
think-
listed everything a man does, to be honest.
that's true.
I think she
She-
listed everything humans do.
She hates all men.
She was like, if they breathe, red flag.
Yeah, this first one's really, I think it's really bad, and it kind of, like, when I started reading this, I immediately kind of discredited the whole thread because I think it's insane. And then some of them were okay, but this first one's
Okay.
crazy. The
Okay.
first one is, I like to play devil's advocate. That's the phrase. He's racist, misogynistic, but is too much of a coward to admit it outright. It cuts his access to women by a decent enough amount to hurt. Do not engage.
No.
That's crazy.
My
To say-
ex-boyfriend actually used to do that all the time. He used to always play devil's advocate, and I don't believe he's racist.
It's insane if someone says that, to say that they're racist and misogynistic.
He might have been a little misogynistic. You know, he would go on ski trips actually. Oh, this is awful. I've never said this, I don't think. He would go on ski trips. So I had a girlfriend, let's call her
Gay.
Kathy. Oh. No.
Oh.
Kathy, my best friend. We were best friends for 13 years. Actually, the one that I stopped being friends with because she ditched me when my mom died. She was my best friend for 13 years. And she had a boyfriend named Bill. And Bill and my boyfriend at the time would go on ski trips together. And he'd always come back, and I would like go on walks with Kathy. Well, I'd go on walks with Kathy, and she'd be like, yeah, while they're on the ski trip, he told Bill that like he just wishes that you were more of like a domestic type of woman, that he could come home to like cooked meals and like a clean house and blah. And this is like when I'm at like peak of my career in like interior design, where I'm working like 60 hours a week. And I was like, damn, that ain't me. And it always made me feel so so he might not be racist, but you know what?
And
maybe playing the devil's advocate makes you misogynist. Yeah, he would say that a lot. I will say
we probably, you know what's interesting about all of these is we probably have been with men that have said them, because they're very common phrases. My experience with a guy who has said, I like to play devil's advocate, the negative experience with that is that I think he just thought I was stupid. And so anything that I would say or think, he would just refute. Or he would just say the opposite, or he'd be like, no, you're wrong, because what about this? Or like, have you thought about this? Or like, no, I think they're doing this, not what you think. And I think it's because he thought I was dumb. And so he would just go against everything I said. And he was like, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I hate when people do that.
Yeah, but I don't think he was racist or a misogynist. I don't think either of those things.
I also hate when they're like playing devil's advocate and all they're actually doing is just invalidating you, and you're like, I just came here to talk to you about my feelings.
Right.
That's it. That's all I came here for.
Okay,
but I don't think it's a red flag.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
Say, okay, so we're going to do out of 30, she is 0 for 30 so far.
0 for 30. Number 2, looking for someone adventurous. And her explanation was, no, he's not, LOL.
I mean, it depends what kind of guy he is. If he's like, you know, if his like profile picture on Tinder is like him on a mountain bike, I bet he is.
She gave more of an explanation. She said, he doesn't care if you're into mountain biking or bungee jumping. He wants to act out some of the most distasteful things seen in porn. He'll ask for anal. Don't oblige.
Oh.
I don't think if you're saying looking for someone adventurous that you are talking about sex necessarily.
Some women like anal, or at least they pretend to.
That's true. No, there are some women that do like it, I think.
Like actually for real, for real?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like for real, for real.
I think. I mean, if it's something that's done enough, it probably doesn't hurt that bad.
Ow. It's got to feel like pooping every time, though.
Melena already leaked this on the Housewives podcast. It's been done. It's been done, and it sucks.
What?
And then
don't say it's been done. Just say you've had anal.
It has been done.
Why are you saying it's been done? Just say you've had anal.
Yeah, no, it's been done.
Yeah, but did he have a small dick? Is that why?
I don't know if that was the reason. I don't know. It's really not that bad. It sucks at first, and then sometimes, and then it's like not that bad. I truly like. It wasn't a thing where I was like, that was horrible. Only did it for the guy. Would never do it again. Like, it really is not that bad if you do it the right way. If you don't do it the right way, it's tragic and like traumatic and not good. But I think it can be fine.
Sounds awful no matter what.
I think it can be fine.
There was this girl in high school that had anal, and it caused her butthole to prolapse, and so then everyone called her Rosebud. That's
really sad. That's so sad.
She didn't die. She just got the nickname Rosebud. But the guy she was with had a really big dick. And then the crazy thing is, this is what's crazy, and this is misogyny. So then, because he was known as Big Bruce, everyone starts, all the girls are over him, but then no one will go over to Rosebud Cassie because she's gross and her butthole's a rosebud. Isn't that crazy?
That's infuriating.
It is infuriating.
Okay, next, number 3. That's 0 for 2 for me.
Yeah, she's 0 for 2. I see. It's fine if you want adventurous. It just means like, I don't think it means you want anal. Maybe it does. Maybe I think the person who posted this tweet is perverted, because I think of mountain biking.
Yeah, I think of like a guy that's into like bouldering, you know, like it's just some like hiking dude.
Well, I know multiple couples that's all, like that's what they do every weekend. They go like camping, and I'm like, yuck. And like, I wouldn't date that guy. I'm not doing that every weekend.
Okay, number 3. I want a girl who is beautiful but doesn't know it. Her explanation, he's looking for a hottie that has low self-esteem.
stop it. You know what the One Direction said? They said, you don't know you're beautiful. And they don't want a girl with low self. Yeah. Yeah, take that. Go. Keep going.
This one actually,
Okay, you stop singing.
This is 1 for 3 for me.
What?
I kind of agree. Like, I want a girl who's pretty but doesn't know it. Like, I want a girl that's pretty, but she's like, oh no, I'm not pretty. Like, I'm ugly. Okay, but that's bad. That's low self-esteem, is having low confidence. If a guy wants that, it's a little bit of a red flag, I think.
He wants a girl with low confidence.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
I feel like it sounds like he's like I like girls better with their makeup off.
That's on here too. We're gonna get there.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, I want girls who's beautiful but doesn't know it. I want a girl who's beautiful but doesn't know it. Okay, I have to sit on this. I want a girl that is beautiful. I feel like I'm like manifesting right now. I want a girl that's beautiful but doesn't know it. I want a girl that's beautiful but doesn't know it. It's not me. It's not doing anything for me.
I think that the most generous explanation is like, I don't want someone who's conceited, but it just comes off wrong to me. Oh, yep. Okay, it just like doesn't come off good to me. Like,
okay.
I want someone who is like confident and feels good about themselves. I don't want a guy who's hot and like thinks he's ugly, or like hot but like doesn't know that he's hot. Like, I want that for why?
I don't want a guy that everyone thinks is hot, because then I have got all these bitches trying to get at him. Actually, Ludwig is the first guy that I dated that's like traditionally attractive.
You've said this, the jock.
Okay, I take back the jock thing because everybody makes fun of me. But he is traditionally attractive, like Hassan. He's like traditionally attractive, you know? No, is he not? Are you?
No, I agree with you. I don't think Lud is like Hassan. I think they're very different. They're very different. I don't think people are like thirst trapping over Hassan or Ludwig.
Right, over Ludwig. I understand. But I'm saying, like, people look at Hassan and they're like, he's traditionally attractive.
Yeah, no, I do go what you're saying. Yes.
Ludwig is traditionally attractive.
Yes. Yeah.
Most people
Lud is a conventionally attractive dude.
Conventionally, that's the word.
Sure. Yeah.
Conventionally attractive. All the other people, I think they've been an acquired taste, and I like that. I like a little quirky guy, because then I feel better about being a quirky girl. But then I dated Ludwig.
This is so funny. You're like saying the red flags that she's listed.
Am I? Am I the red flag?
You're like, oh my God, no, I don't want a guy that knows he's attractive. That's like one of them. Okay, I think she's one. I think she's
for the record. I'm very happy with Ludwig before the parasocial people's freak out. I'm just saying.
For the record, she thinks Ludwig's ugly, and so do I. Number 4.
And Hassan's ugly.
Yeah, that's true. Looking for fun and carefree. That's number 4. Her explanation. He is not looking for a serious relationship. The first time you sleep with him will be the last. If you're unlucky enough to win his affections, be prepared to become his mommy.
Yeah.
I have a couple red flags attached to this of men in my life who have used things like this. Looking for fun and carefree. My number 1 that I talked about the other night. Not to you.
Rude. Who were you talking to?
Sorry, I was talking to the boyfriend. Not because it was him, because it was an ex-boyfriend that did this. And I was like, isn't that insane that he would do that?
Okay, well, it's weird that you would talk to your boyfriend about this instead of me.
I'm talking to you about it right now.
I'm livid.
Okay. Okay. Whenever we would have a disagreement, or he would do something that would make me upset, or like do something that was fucked up, and I'd be like, hey man, not cool. He would be like, I just want to have fun. Why? I thought we were having a good day. Like, why can't we just have fun? You ruined
the day.
Yeah. Or like, why can't we just have fun? Like, I just want to have fun with you. When we would like be arguing, and I was like, that is such an insane concept to me of like, his way of not arguing or taking any accountability or anything was like, why can't we just go have fun? Like, I just want to have fun with you. Why don't you ever want to have fun? Ugh, it was the worst.
That does sound awful. It reminds me of a guy that he would almost like use days as currency. He'd be like, well, you've ruined my day.
Yep.
Like, huh? Yep.
We had such a good day.
Yeah, we had such a good day. Yeah.
We had such a good day today. Now, like,
until now, and now it's ruined. Now? And I'm like, oh, it's because you cheated on me, and I just found out.
Yeah.
Is there a better way? Is there a better day for this?
You cheated on me. What the fuck? Why can't we just have fun tonight?
Yeah, let's just go to a movie. On tonight.
Let's just have fun.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
They're red.
No, I do think that's a red flag. I just want someone who's fun. No one in the maybe I'm crazy, but I don't think anyone in the world is fun and carefree at all times.
No, that's not crazy. Of course not. It's absurd.
So I don't think you want anyone. I think you want
Except for
AI.
Extra Emily.
Except for Extra Emily.
You
can date Extra Emily.
She's never sad.
She's the best, actually.
Okay, so we're what? 1 for 4? Or you
We
want to
can count yours if you want. We can do 2 for 4.
I'm on 1 for 4. I don't think looking for fun and carefree is enough of a phrase to be a red flag.
Okay.
I think that's fine. So I'm on 1 for 4. All right, next one. I want someone laid back, chill, and effortless. He wants a doormat that will never complain about how terrible of a partner he is ever.
Jesus.
You will be tasked with all the labor in the relationship, emotional, physical, etc. He will also expect you to be done up 24/7.
Okay, I think she's reaching a little bit. She's
rage
really
baiting.
aggro. Yeah,
she's rage baiting incels.
It's like it's one of those things where it's like I'm being an incel right now. I'm like, well, what can I ask for?
Yep.
That one's a little aggro.
It's a little aggro. Red flag attached to it.
Yeah.
You know, I dated a guy for 5 months, and his big thing was like, I just want to be chill about it. Remember?
Yeah,
I just want it to be laid back. Like, I just want to be chill about it. We didn't put a title on it for 5 months.
Yeah, no
and we were
thanks.
like kind of, I guess we were exclusive, but like also, I don't really believe, I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. It was like this
Who
whole
knows?
thing. But it was like, we were not together. We were just dating for 5 months.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
And it was always like I'm not ready, or just like, I just want to be chill about it.
I don't think that's like okay. You know what? Actually, yes. Okay, that is a red flag, but not because of the fucking reason she stated. She was being a little extra. Like, it's not like he's not gonna like. He's just no. Okay, he doesn't want a doormat that'll never complain. Blah, blah. He just wants to be a fuckboy. That's literally it. That's all she needed to write was like.
Yeah.
He just wants to be a fuckboy.
Yeah. Okay, 1 for 5.
1 for 5.
Number 6. Any variation of I'm a man of substance. I like smarts.
I've never heard a guy say that in my life.
Never heard anybody say that either. Explanation. Usually a fledgling professional. He's looking for a woman with the right credentials to impress his peers, but you are not allowed to be more accomplished or smarter than him. He will Google everything you say to check.
Dude, you know... I can't say who.
I know exactly what you're thinking about, and I also can't.
Wait, you do know what I'm thinking about? I don't know if you do.
So. Oh.
I'm thinking about a streamer with a boyfriend who does this to her all the time. All the fucking time. It's insane.
I think we're talking about the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, message the name. Because we like to keep secrets from our viewers.
Are you not just like taking a weird
What?
windy
That's not
path?
who I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay. Go ahead then.
Oh, that's so funny. Yours is correct too, but I was thinking this person.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, her boyfriend is insane. Like, he's always like, he's literally, if she ever like acts like if she ever has fun, I'm not kidding you. If she ever has fun, he's always like, you're embarrassing me.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've seen that with couples.
Because he like when girls are like a smart guy,
really bubbly,
and they're like,
yeah, and they're like, you're being too much right now.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. So sad.
Yeah, that's a sad one. But it's like, it's weird because her descriptions mean more to me than like there are actual red flags in this tweet, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm a man of substance. I like smarts does not translate to what we're talking about right now.
No, not at all. But what she says, like, there are like certain guys that they refuse to like date a woman that's more accomplished than them, and it's crazy.
Heard.
I wonder, actually he'd be fine. I was gonna say, I wonder how Lud would do if I was like more successful than him, but I think he'd be fine.
Yeah, I think he'd be good about it. It's hard to know.
It's hard to know. My last boyfriend was actually so funny about it. He'd always call me his sugar mama, like around his family. Like, he'd be like, she's the breadwinner. She's like, he'd always like hype me up around his family. It was very
cute.
sweet. Yeah.
That's what my current boyfriend does that.
He does?
Yeah. But
he's
had
like,
boyfriends
she's way
that are
richer
like,
than me. She's got way more goats than I have. He always
Yeah.
says that to his family.
Yeah. You won't believe how many goats she has.
You won't believe how many goats she has. We could trade them for our future children.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, he likes that about me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's the worst. Don't date a man that doesn't want you to be.
Don't date a man
more successful than him. Don't date a man.
Don't date.
No, it's really cringe. It's a really dark corner. Okay. All right. I'm still 1 for 6 here. We're on 7.
1 for 6.
Open-minded. They're like, this is like he's putting it on a dating profile of what he's looking for. Is like
okay,
open-minded.
Okay, so I'm gonna exit out of thing. I want to not read her things, and I'll tell you what I think open-minded means.
Okay, and then I'll read you hers.
Okay, yeah. So I think when a guy puts open-minded, he's like, he like wants multiple girlfriends.
I was literally gonna say Polly.
That's how I felt. He like doesn't ever want to like settle it down when he's looking for open-minded.
Okay,
it's so funny because our majority of our audience is male, so they're probably like getting such a peek into women's minds right now.
Yeah,
they're like,
sick.
I put open-minded because I'm a Republican. Like, what the heck? Like, they're like, what? That means I want multiple girlfriends? Yes, it does.
Here's your dating profile advice podcast, everybody. Okay, her explanation. Unhinged. You ready?
Yeah.
You will be cheated on constantly or be expected to participate in degenerate sexual acts under threats of ending your relationship, or he's trying to convince you to be non-monogamous, may also be married. It's a toss-up. Either way, stay away.
The non-monogamous thing is the only thing I will grab from her.
Yeah.
I do agree it's a red flag. I don't agree with her description.
Fair. Okay. So we're 2 for 7 then.
2 for 7.
Okay. Let me be clear. If someone said open-minded, I would be like, oh, what does that mean? But I wouldn't be like, a red flag, I'm staying away. But we're calling it a red flag. 2 for 7.
Oh.
Number 8.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with non-monogamous relationships, of course.
As long as it's a consensual non-monogamous relationship.
Just make sure you put in your dating profile that you're not open-minded and instead you're looking for your second wife.
Yeah. Okay, number 8. If he makes a joke about OnlyFans in the bio.
Do people do that?
I don't know.
Dude, should I make a fake Tinder and catfish people for content for our podcast?
I made a Tinder once. I made a Tinder one time. It was very scary. I had it for like less than an hour. I was so scared. It's a bizarre app.
Was this recently?
No.
Oh. I had Tinder years ago, years ago, and I never met anyone up on it, but it was funny. It was funny. Yeah.
We can make fake app. We can make fake profiles. I don't want to.
I'll do it. I'm gonna catfish you all.
You can do that. I don't want to. I'm scared.
I just want to collect the thirstiest DMs and just see and just read them. I think they'll be so funny. Yeah. And honestly, if you're a gross man that sends gross DMs, you deserve to be catfished.
True. Her explanation for this: he is a secret subscriber and consumer of such content. His Instagram following will almost exclusively be IG models and creators. Curiously enough, he does not believe women can make any good money by working a 9-to-5. Tiny dick.
Jesus.
She's so mad.
She is really mad. She's baiting a lot here.
Yeah.
I think anyone who makes a joke about OnlyFans is just dumb. I think it's just a dumb joke. I think jokes about OnlyFans are dumb. It was actually so dumb. I actually tweeted this out like on March 29th. I was like, yo, content creators, remember that like OnlyFans isn't a good punchline to a joke. It's stupid. Like, it's not funny to start an OnlyFans. It's someone's job. But then what happened is some viewers went back and they found a tweet from me 2 years ago that said, I'm starting OnlyFans. Ludwig's taking the pictures because fucking Casey Tron and Justin Minks like did one of those things where it's like, you get to choose my tweet, and that was the tweet they chose.
Oh no.
I know. So
that's
dumb.
Tragic.
Yeah. Unlucky. So I'm a hypocrite. Hungry hypocrite.
I think we're 2 for 8. That one doesn't.
That one's. I guess I wouldn't. I wouldn't date someone if I wouldn't actually.
I would be turned off.
I feel like that's so lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a turn off is a red flag, is it not?
No.
Oh.
I think those are different.
Okay.
A red flag is like
one
yikes,
ick.
this person's toxic. Yeah. I would be like, oh.
Okay.
Yeah. No, let's count it. We'll do 3 for 8.
Okay, 3 for 8.
I feel fine about that. We're 3 for 8. Number 9. Can I skip some?
Yeah.
You want me to? Okay. Okay. Number 10. Well, we'll say this is number 9 because skipping. If this is an older man and he uses mature or age doesn't matter.
Oh, he's a pedo.
She said he's a pervert who can't hang out with age-appropriate women who can spot his bullshit a mile away. He seeks out younger women because they're more malleable, less experienced, overall easier to manipulate.
This is the funniest story, and I wish we would have had wine about it when this was going on. So what happens was Taylor, and she's fine with me telling the story. Taylor flies out to California.
Okay.
For streamer awards or something. Yes. No, Christmas concert. She flies out for California for Christmas concert. She's sitting next to an older gentleman. She's in first class because I'm a nice boss. And plugs myself. She's sitting next to an older gentleman, and the whole time he's like really friendly, talking her up, blah, blah. And she gets to my house and she's like, I think I just got a sugar daddy. And I'm like, what? She was like, yeah, he kept talking about how rich he is. He kept talking about like, you know, how he hangs out with younger crowds because they're just like more like him, like they match his energy more, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, we stalk him on Instagram. We find his family. He's divorced though.
No. Oh.
Verified divorce. But, you know, we find his ex-wife. Taylor, way hotter than his ex-wife. So huge upgrade.
Damn.
Anyway, she goes on a different date. So she gets like a Raya date or something like that. 'Cause she had just gotten Raya. She gets a Raya date, goes on the Raya date. It's so bad that she texts this sugar daddy guy to come pick her up. Yeah, Taylor's crazy. She's crazy girl. So he goes and picks her up. They get tacos. He brings her home, blah, blah. And she tells me the next day, she's like, I had sugar daddy pick me up. I'm like,
that's
crazy.
Insane.
It is insane. And so they're like, man, I wish I had screenshots of the conversation. If this would have been months ago, I would have had her send them to me. She's in Europe right now, or I'd bother her right now. I'd call her right now, actually. But it's crazy. So like the few weeks go by and it's like he'll text her every once in a while and he'll be like, I want to fly you out to wherever, and I'm like, you don't go alone. Like if you're a sugar baby, you can bring another hot girl. So she's like, let me bring my friend, not me, I'm not another hot girl. She's like, let me bring my friend Maddie. And then the guy's like, okay, but like Maddie has to buy her own ticket. And she's like, shh. And I was like, Taylor, I don't think he's a sugar daddy. And she's like, no, does he just want to be a normal daddy? And I'm like,
oh,
I'm like, God. I think so. And she's like, but I don't like him. But like, it's like weird because okay, for the record, she isn't just reaching here. He talks to her like, he'll say like, you're so beautiful. I love having you around. Like at things, like he'll be like, I want to bring you to this thing and show you off. And so it's like she's like alluding to this idea that he like knows the dynamic and what it's gonna be, but like at no point is he just like fully disclosing it. And so it's like really frustrating. She's like, does he want to date me or does he want like a sugar baby?
Wait,
like,
what does she want?
She wants a sugar daddy.
Genuinely?
No. No, I think if like a sugar daddy fell in her lap, she would take him.
Wow.
But she would just like go to parties with him. She wouldn't want to do sex or like anything provocative. She'd, you know?
Yeah.
Like there are sugar babies that are like will just be arm candy.
Right.
Yeah. And she'd be down for that. She'd be down for like a sugar daddy to like take her to like, you know, a Hollywood party, and then she goes about her day and she also gets $2,000 and a new pair of Versace shoes or something. Like she'd love that.
Crazy. I would be so scared.
Yeah, it's crazy because she's also like, she's your size.
Little. Yeah.
She's a little one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's just so funny. So finally, after like weeks of going back and forth, I said, Taylor, you just got to send him a message that's like, hey, where do you see this relationship going? Because in my world, it is transactional. And in your world, it like, I just want to see, like, I just don't know if you see this progressing romantically or not. Dude, I wish I had the screenshots. Oh, man. If she wasn't in Europe, I'd have her send them to me right now.
She used the word transactional?
No. Okay. She didn't. I think I wrote the text that she sent. Let me see. Let me just see hypothetically. Maybe I have
the word transactional.
It was no, I definitely didn't say transactional. But that's what I was alluding to. Anyway, after all of this, he finally was like, oh no, like I really like you and I like actually want to get to know you and I could see like us being like boyfriend and girlfriend someday. And she was like, you're my dad's age. Like, no, thank you.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
But yeah, it was crazy because when he was here, he was like hanging out with a bunch of like young people and
Oof, that's so...
yeah, it was so crazy. But that's how she almost accidentally got a sugar daddy.
Wow.
Yeah, fun story.
That's crazy. Yeah, if he's like, oh, age is but a number, or he's like, I can only hang out with kids like you because, like, adults don't get me, or whatever, and you're young, and if he says, you're really mature for your age,
I don't like really mature for your age.
Get out of there. Get out of there. That's so predatory. I hate that. Don't like that.
I'm really trying to find it. I just want to see. This was so many months ago.
That's number 9, I think. So that makes us 4 for 9.
Okay,
we have 4 for 9 because that is definitely a red flag. Do you want me to read the next one?
Yeah, read the next one.
You. Okay.
I just want to see.
This next one's funny because Cutie said something similar to it. That's why I laughed before.
No way.
Number 10, mentions of quirky or anything that equivocates to the manic pixie trope. If you are neurodivergent in any way, tread carefully. He fetishizes the idea of a socially awkward and crazy girlfriend. He will call you crazy when you advocate for yourself, emotionally abusive. I think that's crazy and seems very specific and anecdotal. I think
that does feel very specific.
You can want someone to be quirky and think that that's funny. I don't think that you're trying to fetishize a neurodivergent person if you say that you like.
I also think you can be quirky and not neurodivergent. The issue is I think we just disagree with this lady most of all.
Yeah, she's a lot.
I don't have the text. Dang it. Maybe one day if sugar daddies ever come up again, I'll have her send me the breakup text. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. You should have her send that. Okay, number 11.
Okay.
This one's specific to women of color. If he's oddly too immersed in Asian, Black, or Latino culture, but is not part of your community, he has a fetish. If he mentions a cultural stereotype, he's actively seeking out a woman that'll fulfill a racialized sexual fetish. It's never a coincidence.
I actually think that's fair. fair.
And we both have anecdotes for this one. Or you have anecdotes for me. And I have.
Wait, what?
We literally talked about this very recently. It's not something that I've noticed while in relationships, but then after then after you look back at it and you're like, he has a type. And
you look at like their dating history and you're like, wait a second.
Right.
Dude. Sorry, I'm having like a brain blast.
By the way, before everyone gets cringe,
what?
I'm talking about multiple people that I've dated here. Okay, so nobody lose their minds over what I'm saying. Go ahead.
She's talking about me. It is, I guess. Okay, dude, this is probably too big of a topic to like digest as two women here at the moment. But like, it is it? If your type is always a specific race,
yeah.
What is that? Is that your type, or are you racist, or are you...
No, I don't think that does make you racist.
No, but like, what is it? Are you tokenizing? What are you doing?
I don't know. I think it depends. I think that you can like the features of a race and like think that those features are attractive.
Like you could always like people with blonde hair, or you could always like people with black hair.
Yeah, but the only one that I can speak to is there are guys that I've dated, multiple guys that I've dated. Okay, so don't freak out.
You date so many people you
really like that are really into anime, right? And stuff like that. And there are people that fetishize Asian women and want them to be like really cutesy or speak in a really high voice or like dress a certain like the schoolgirl outfits and stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
There's a fetish there. And that the fetishizing of that I think is different from being attracted to Asian women. And I don't know how to be more articulate about that.
No, but there are like people, like there are people that are obsessed with like Japan, and they like, okay, there's this guy that went to high school with me actually, who was obsessed with Japan. Like, this is a white guy. You walk into his house, he's got a Japanese flag, he's got Legos built to represent like all these different things in Japan and blah blah, and he would go to Japan in the summer and all this stuff. Fast forward, and he would always talk about how he only watched Asian porn. And so it's like, okay, this is like, this guy just wishes he was Asian, honestly.
Yeah, right.
And then fast forward now, he lives in Japan with a Japanese wife and kids. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's a complicated one. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, he's happy. I think she's happy. But it is weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
To be like this, like, Pokemon. I don't know. Super weird.
I don't really know. I don't know what the distinction is, because I've also known, I was in Japanese Student Association in college, and there were a lot of white guys in that club that were like mega weebs, right? And just like into all of it, but like so respectful about it. And I really like, they would wear kimonos and shit, and I'd be like, yeah, dude, sick. Because they just loved it, you know? And I never had a problem with that. And I knew that like they wanted to date Asian girls, but it never felt, I would have never called it, like, I would have never been like, oh, they have a fetish for them. Fetish just has such a negative connotation. It doesn't need to. I don't know. Fetishizing people sounds, it is negative. I don't know. I'm confused right now.
My sister-in-law is calling me.
Oh. I don't know. I think there are ways to appreciate cultures, and there are ways to fetishize cultures in inappropriate ways, you know. It's just a vibe thing.
It's just a vibe thing.
It's just a vibe thing. It just feels different.
Okay. I don't know if it's a red flag.
It depends on the person.
I feel like you can't tell from like a dating profile.
Yeah.
If they're just like, if they like, one of their photos is like, they're like, I love Japan. I don't think that necessarily makes them that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, I'm losing count. But I'm just gonna read a couple more of the like.
Okay. The standout ones.
Juicy ones, yeah. Oh, I don't like drama.
Oh God, no one likes drama.
We like drama.
We like drama, but we don't like being I would not. We're not a part of drama. We like
tea.
We like the tea
involved.
Exactly.
Yeah. Her explanation is, this is them telling you that they're conflict averse, a coward, but also the type that will eventually leave a sick or pregnant partner to fend for themselves.
Oh my gosh, that's
and
so
you'll
dramatic.
hear that all their exes were crazy.
I don't know what to tell you, but I think the woman that tweeted this is the red flag. That's so extra. That's so extra.
That's crazy.
For saying I don't like drama, like no one does. Literally no one.
Yeah.
No one on a dating profile is going to be like, I like drama. It's a dumb thing to put on a dating profile.
Yeah.
But like no one likes drama.
Let's see. Uses the word females.
This is like a new age thing though, for sure.
Huge ick.
Like, this is like Andrew Tate Enjoyer. I just put Andrew Tate Enjoyer as the red flag.
Okay, red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if someone unironically was like, yeah, I was talking to some females over there, I'd be like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that.
My sister-in-law left me a voicemail, and it's making me very anxious because she's never left me one before. So I'm just going to mute real quick.
Yeah, that's fine.
Makes me feel like something bad happened.
I'll read a couple more. Let's see. Oh, the self-proclaimed nice guy. She said, there are true dangers to women. They are true dangers to women. There is no telling how they will react to rejection. It's often an aggressive response, and they're extremely entitled to our bodies, our attention. Niceness is entirely conditional and transactional with them. That one, I don't really mind the way that she said that. I think that I hate, it's a big kind of ick for me when guys feel really sorry for themselves and they're like, the nice guy never wins, you know, or like, I'm just the nice guy. Like,
God damn it. It was a freaking butt dial.
Oh. Lame.
That stressed me out.
We're talking about the self-proclaimed nice guy right now.
Oh,
I'm just a nice guy. They never win.
Yeah, they never win.
They always finish last.
I'll tell you what, most guys are nice guys.
Huh?
Most people are nice in the world.
Huh?
Are they not?
That's crazy. I don't think that.
You're catching me on an optimistic day, I suppose.
I hate when people are self-proclaimed nice guys, because then when they're not the nice guy and they do something cringe and you break up with them, they're like, oh, no one ever likes the nice guys. I hate that.
Yeah, but I think I kind of did that.
Oh.
I dated the nicest guy in high school. He was so, so sweet, and I just didn't like him. And then when I broke his heart, he was like, the nice guy never wins, because I loved this douchebag. I was literally had the biggest crush on this guy that was a giant douche.
Yeah.
And I think about that sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, that's sad. He did not win.
That is sad.
Because he loved me so much. Yeah. That guy can be that guy is a nice guy.
Okay, last one.
Uh-huh.
They warn you about themselves and joke about finding someone to match their crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime I've ever had a man, romantic or as a friend, warn me about themselves, it has been a f***ing disaster.
Yeah, they're right. If a guy is self-aware enough to be like, hey, I'm a loose cannon,
no,
then they are.
Or the worst, if they're like, you don't want to get to know me, or like, you don't want to be my friend.
Dude,
no one really knows
me.
me.
My virginity did that. Did I tell you?
Oh my god,
he had a tattoo that said unwanted.
Oh my god, it's so tragic.
And he would be like,
so tragic.
Oh, you don't want to spend time.
I'm just gonna bring you down.
Yeah, and then I meet his family, and his family is just like the sweetest ever, and his family just loves him, like his mom loves him, and I'm like, how did you turn out like this? Like,
yeah,
genuinely.
anytime I've had a guy warn me about them, it has been a disaster every time.
Yeah, fair. That's the red flag. That's the biggest red flag. Mm-hmm. If they warn you about themselves, they're not joking.
Yeah.
Like, I think like most women, maybe I shouldn't use the word most. I think at times most is more clarifying because it doesn't say all. Okay. At times some women will be like, like, I'm a little crazy sometimes. And that's usually just, you're just like exaggerating, or you're like looking for validation for them to be like, you're not crazy. But when guys say like, I'm crazy sometimes, like they probably like used to cut squirrels in half when they were kids. Like probably they probably
off
did.
Of spiders, kids.
Yeah,
We'll did show up at your house in the middle of the night and key your car, kids.
Yeah, they're not lying. The one guy that would always tell him, like, okay, so there was that guy that was always like, I'm unwanted. That guy was the one that ghosted me after taking my virginity. And then the one guy that was like always like, I'm too much for you. I'm too much for you. He was in fact. He was too much. He was the one that like I woke up in the middle of the night. He had a hatchet. And he was breaking all of our dishes. He was the one that used to punch me in the face. He was quite literally too much. I should have listened.
I had a guy in college that would tell me like, that he was just gonna hurt me someday, and I needed to stay away from him. Like, just stay away from me. Like, you don't want to get close to me. Trust me. Like, I hurt everyone that I get close to, whatever. And I'm of course like, no, let me fix you. And I had to sleep with a hammer underneath my pillow for like 3 weeks.
Why?
Because he kept showing up to my house and coming in.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. And then he would get mad. We'd be in the car, and he'd get really mad, and he'd start like pounding the car ceiling, like hitting the ceiling of the roof of the car. And then I would like threaten to jump out of the car, and he'd be like, don't fucking jump out of the car. Don't jump. It was crazy. It was really stuck in there.
Yeah.
And then he'd get more mad, and he just like hit the car harder. It was crazy. It was a crazy time.
My hair lady, I think she left the blonde dye on too long.
Till it's a little fried.
Yeah, it's a little fried. I'm pissed because I got my hair so healthy, and then she fucking fried it off, that bitch. Look at that. That's not a cut. That's fry.
It's a little bit fried.
I'm so mad. I knew it too because it started to tickle, and I was like, my hair takes blonde way quicker before it tickles. My hair takes blonde easy. I've spent years. I'm never going back to her. I gave her a big tip too because I'm nice.
Tragic. Well, that's pretty much it. That's all our red flags.
I hope you guys enjoyed this week of Whine About It.
This week of your dating profile advice from us to you. You're welcome.
We're going to the Patreon episode now, where we're going to talk about the UFO sighting, or There's like a UFO thing. There's a thing.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna whine
We're
about
gonna
it.
talk about it. We're gonna figure out what those UFOs are doing.
We're also gonna go leak more stories
Oh.
about our ex-boyfriends.
We should at least do one because you did it on the public tweet, so it feels to do like to only do it.
No, we
on...
can just save it for next week.
Should we
No
save it
one's
for
gonna be
next
like,
week?
yeah, no one's gonna be like, what the hell? We'll just do it next
All right.
week.
Well, next week on Wine About It. Well, wait. Next week is the Yard episode of Wine About It.
Oh. Then we'll do it the week after.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right, never mind. In 2 weeks, we'll have the common misconception of, yeah.
No, I asked Twitter for their assumptions about us, and we're gonna react to them. Should be interesting.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right, well.
Go sub to the
Wine About It.
Patreon if you want more content. Bow, 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 bow. It's a good time over there.
Yeah, they have a Discord. They're my assistant is going to start hosting movie nights in the Discord.
Wholesome.
So yeah, very wholesome. Also, there's people always
Hanging out in there.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Let me look.
Out.
There's literally 5 people in a VC right now.
They're hanging out.
I don't know what they're doing. You guys like each other? You guys like the podcast? Weird.
They're plotting.
They're plotting. All right. Well, thanks for watching. It was I feel like it was like a chill episode. I feel like I say that all the time. Is that a problem? I don't know.
But it was chill. It felt fine. That was scary.
Feel fine about it?
Fine about it. There's a thumbnail. That was sick. Alright, see you guys on the next one. Like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.